I've been doing several of these events for different organizations since I got injured in 2008. I think there are a lot of really great organizations out there that do all sorts of different things. Obviously, the government's doing what they can with the resources that they have, but they're a big bureaucracy. When you're out here and it's just a handful of guys, you know, reaching out to their friends and the local community, and they're tied in with local law enforcement, you can get done whatever you really want to.
I know for a fact, and I've seen it at this event, you know, these could be lifesavers. You feel comfortable to be able to reach out to those folks that you become friends with, and it gives that atmosphere to some folks who otherwise may not feel comfortable reaching out. And I think that's the beauty of this event in particular. The best weekend ever. Really, I think it's the best weekend ever to establish lifelines for our veterans that are out there to see that there are other folks that are sharing the same experiences and hardships or you know, triumphs, in a way that they can look at getting over those things if they're having to deal with it.
The subtle and unsaid thing is really, hey, here's somebody who has been through it and they're living their life, they're conquering the world, they're being the best version of themselves. There'll be people that may ask you questions, but there'll be people that won't. But just them being able to observe and see you thrive and see you move on without bitterness, without anxiety, it's powerful.
Most veterans are very antisocial, mainly because we don't know how to talk to civilians. It gets you being social, and it slowly edges you into society. So you come here, and while we do these events away with just other veterans, we go out in town and we talk to people. You know, so it's kind of we're the bridge to becoming social with civilians again. We're the bridge to integration into society.
For myself, the value is that I get out. I mean, I'm a loner. I stay home by myself. I don't get out and do things. And when I come to these events, I get to meet other people and make friends. And it's a brotherhood. It's like family. Everybody's family.
You have you know, a service member who may be in a shell and you know, close himself off, and you get to see them as the weekend progresses, get to see them open up more, and I think it has, you know, that effect is invaluable. You can't get that.
The military and the VA, they're very good at diagnosing problems and throwing a treatment plan, or maybe it's prescription pills. What they can't create is the camaraderie and the caring that you see from the community, and that's really what I think heals a lot of wounds.
Events like this are important because they connect our military and veterans to our communities. You know, every single one of us, we come from communities like this all across our country. When we take these uniforms off and we come back to our communities, we want to pursue the American dream just like everyone else. You know, to me, it's really strategic in nature, because if we don't take care of those that serve, eventually we're not going to have people that want to do that.
You know, while we were overseas, while we were training, we had a cause, we had a purpose, and that purpose was a higher purpose, a higher calling, and it brings us back to those days. And that for me, that's priceless.
I miss it, yeah, but it's events like this that fill that gap, and they're enormous things.
Connecting with your other veterans outside the service, it is hard because we all go back to our own places, you know. If you don't go back to where you're from, you go to where you want to go. And maybe sometimes you got some veterans there, sometimes you don't. It's hard to connect with people, and it's hard. You feel isolated, you know what I mean? So you're out there trying to fight this fight, you're out there trying to control that anxiety, you're out there trying to control your temper, you're out there trying to control your feelings. And it's hard when you don't have anyone else around you. You don't have your friends, you don't have your brothers.
You know, I spent 10 years doing 3 tours of Iraq, 1 in Afghanistan, and I fight hard with my brothers to my left and right. You get no closer than you do to the brothers that you serve with for that many years. When you get out, my brother to my right's in California, and my brother to my left is in Florida, and I'm in Sheridan, Wyoming. So it's very easy to get cocooned up, depressed. You know, you get the booze and drinking, and you don't have that brotherhood that you're like, hey, you know, we got to get out there Monday, Tuesday, let's go do this, pull your head out of your ass and let's make this work. Try to get back into it, but you can't, and you just fall into this deep hole. These are the things that really just gives you the right, you know, the kick in the nuts to do it. Get out of your shell and be here among other warriors that you don't know, but then You find out you serve with them, same town, same cities that you were fighting in, and then you just build off that, and then you realize, you know, I live 10 minutes from him, or I live 100 miles away. We can do this once or twice a month. You know, that's why this is important. It's huge, just to be together.
A lot of times you don't know it's really helping somebody. Like we do a kind of event similar to this, and a month later we got a letter from a guy saying my goal was to actually go kill myself. And our event pretty much stopped him from doing that.
Just from talking to 2 or 3 of the people here today, we've gotten text messages, we've gotten Facebook messages from people that we haven't talked to in years saying, hey, what is this that you're at? Is this something that I could come to next year? We're telling the guys and they're like, absolutely, let's get their names on the list, because you don't want your friends out there alone.
I can think of 6 Vietnam vets right now that would be head over heels on a weekend like this. They'd just be chewing it up like a loaf of bread for breakfast.
The road to recovery, it's not sunshine and rainbows. And there's a lot of having to explain on a daily basis what you're going through, what you're feeling. When you come to a place like this, you're surrounded by other veterans, including friends that I've worked with, and it takes you to a different place. You get to reminisce about the good times. You get to honor, you know, men who have gone before you, and you're with guys who get it, you know, without having to explain it. No, I don't mind explaining what happened to me. You know, it is what it is. You know, it's not something that I'm going to avoid for, you know, comfort, because it's, you know, it's what I live every day. So out here, you're treated like, hey, you know what? You're normal.
What this organization does, that's phenomenal for us. It's amazing, you know? And the sponsors that come to it, you know, the sponsors that support it. It's the support. It's good. It's good to get that. It's good to get that love, because now, you know, you enlist for whatever reason it might be your own, but you do your own things, stuff happens, and you don't need your name in the paper, but you'd like somebody to talk to about it. In this place, they give you that tenfold, and it's amazing.